Oh man, this is gonna be a train wreck. I can feel it.
This will be the best one yet.
All right, welcome to another episode of the Nerd Holes. Tonight we're talking about Obi-Wan Kenobi, episode 5. Episode 6 came out today, but we haven't watched it yet. At least I haven't watched it yet.
I haven't watched it. No,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we both haven't watched it because we're gonna watch it together tomorrow.
In a few minutes.
Yeah,
In
you'll
a
see
few
it.
minutes.
You'll see it right after this.
Yeah.
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 Cool.
Because time and space and has no meaning for us.
No. Where we're going, we don't need space time.
That's right. So it's going to be like a nice little bleed into. So we'll give you our little feelings on episode 5.
Mhm.
And then it's going to go right into us live watching episode 6. And then
Yeah,
we'll have
so
a
you
little review.
That'll be fun. You get like our live reaction, and then we'll do like a post like wrap up.
A brainy reaction, right?
Yeah.
We'll take a minute to think about it. Yeah.
So in this episode, we're gonna do 5 things that we liked.
Perfect. I have totally prepared
Yes.
for 5 things that I enjoy.
Anakin Skywalker, lightsabers, Obi-Wan's robes, Force pull on the ship,
Yes.
Inquisitor gets stabbed. There we go.
Done. That was our thoughts now. So
see you in the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was just funny that we're just talking in the last episode and saying that there's got to be a reason why they got Hayden Christensen to come back, other than just being in the helmet,
Right.
And this episode opens up with a flashback. It kind of parries, the whole episode kind of parries with the flashback.
Yeah.
Which I really enjoyed, honestly. I really.
Oh yeah, me too. I love that they brought it. I mean, the crazy thing was too, it wasn't even Revenge of the Sith. It was like Attack of the Clones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right.
So it was like
the ponytail and
it was a callback to something I didn't expect them to do. And the other thing too, I almost wonder if in 6, if they're even going to do something if they'll even call back even further to the Clone Wars, show a live action event from the Clone Wars. I don't know. I just a guess, something shows.
They might. I mean, they've been sticking pretty close to the Clone Wars as far as the Order 66 thing.
True.
Which is always kind of cool to see.
And Drake, I funny enough, kind of got right that they were going to use the scene where he meets up with the youngling again.
Mm-hmm.
They refilmed that shot essentially.
Yeah.
But he stabbed her. I was really surprised about that. I didn't think he actually. I thought he would be like, "No, I will spare you, child, for I can sense the dark side in you."
I did too. And then, even towards the end of the episode, he knew that she was the Padawan.
Yeah.
From the beginning. Yeah. But
just like classic Vader, right? You didn't actually pull a wool over his eyes. He knew the whole time.
Yeah. So it's kind of crazy. I was thinking about it that you're seeing Vader for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
That is more than just Darth Vader. So you're actually correlating him with Anakin more than you ever have. Because you're seeing the flashback scene where they're dueling, and you're seeing how Vader now, where he got his start with learning the ins and outs of combat and battle, and how he is such a battle hardened character, from fighting in the Clone Wars and all that stuff. So he understands fighting in battle, but he also understands Obi-Wan,
right?
In depthly, because they were so close.
Yeah, that was a really great structure and sentence and just everything when he was oh, this is what he's gonna do, and they're like, how do you know that? He's like, because I know what he's gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to immediately start a siege on this thing.
Yeah. So Obi-Wan like knew he was going to be like just bent on like fast-paced destruction.
Right, which is
That's
what
always been his nature. Yeah.
The whole like training duel was all about, right? He was so quick to
and
strike
Anakin at the same time knows that like Obi-Wan is going to help people. Right. Obi-Wan is going to sacrifice himself to save all the people in there.
Right.
That's just so it's really cool that you're getting to see these two characters as these two characters, not just. I feel like in my head when I think about Obi-Wan and Vader, obviously you think about New Hope, and it's just a very quick scene.
Very quick, yeah.
But this is honestly the first time where we've seen like Vader and Obi-Wan like together, and not think about like Vader is like this character that you don't know who's behind the helmet. Like you know who he is, and it actually makes it more scary, more intimidating.
Oh yeah. He actually knows. He's not some like you're saying. He's not some random like nameless, not name like faceless enemy that you're just like, this is he's terrifying. It's like not only that, but I know the guy who's underneath him, and I know how he thinks, and I know how he like what his goal is. And that was the thing when you said it about the top, one of the things in the 5, which was the grabbing the spacecraft. Right?
Oh yeah.
But the thing I thought about too, which was cool, it's kind of the only thing I thought it was kind of weird is like, why doesn't he do that
to the other one
time?
Well,
like I thought about specifically Rogue One.
Oh yeah.
Like, why isn't he? I guess it's not like Rogue One is a giant starship, and that was like a transport ship. But I was just thinking, like, it would have been. Can you imagine? Like, they're like, okay, here we go, we're dropping out, and he's just like, and he's just holding onto it in space. But the thing I thought was just the rage, the anger he has for Obi-Wan when he starts to like rip that ship apart. It's just like,
it was so good.
I was like, that's terrifying.
That's why. So that scene where Obi-Wan's telling the Inquisitor, he's saying he won't see it coming because all he'll be thinking about is me. And then Vader comes off the ship and he's just through the cave, like he doesn't care who's around.
He looks at the stormtroopers like for a half second, right? The dead ones, like a half second, right? Yeah.
And then he gets in there and you see the ship taking off, and you're like, oh man. And he's just like, nope. He pulls it down and he just slams it and he just rips the whole side. It's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. That was pretty cool. Man.
But that is such a huge Star Wars trope anyway. Like I tell you all the time, there's so many episodes like the Clone Wars and stuff where they're like, oh no, what are we? There's 500 robots and they're fighting on like essentially Cloud City, and they're like, what are we gonna do? Oh, well, I guess we'll surrender. It's like you have the Force, just force push all the robots off the edge of the
right.
Fall 6,000 feet, to the ground, and they're like, can't use the Force.
They've clearly never played Battlefront 2.
No,
you just force push everybody off.
They play very very fast and loose with, If it's not a plot point to get two characters to like talk and see each other, they'll use the Force however they want.
Any way they want.
But if it's
we talked about it in our first episode 1 podcast, where it's like, why don't the Jedi ever move at the speed of like light again? When he's like, oh, we got to get out of here. He go, like, why don't they ever do that ever again? Because that doesn't matter. It doesn't affect the narrative.
They never need to get away like that ever again.
Right.
You got Jar Jar Binks. They can't do anything.
No.
Oh man. But yeah, that was a pretty good episode. I was trying to think a lot.
Her well, potentially her dying, right? Because she was crawling at the end of it.
Yeah, I don't think so.
To the thing, right? Yeah, and then they show Luke sleeping. Yeah, that was cool.
I wish you would think that Bail Organa would be a little bit more discreet with his codes, Hey, make sure you get those 2 kids. If you don't find Vader's kids.
Yeah, right. What? Yeah, I know. And of course, you had your
2 children. They belong to your former Padawan.
What does he mean by that? I thought it was an interesting little. It reminded me a lot of Rogue One when the lady and the robot get shot.
Oh yeah.
And then blown up. It was kind of like, hey, people that are interesting and fascinating, and it's like they're not gonna make it.
Yeah, that's a suicide mission. My biggest complaint anytime that there's ever like explosives or like thermal detonators in this case, they're always like, save yourself.
Oh,
it's like just toss it to like where all the stormtroopers are.
Just throw it a little farther. Yeah, it was a little silly that she was like
literally like they're down the hallway, right? And it's like she just holds it, and it's like it does like this much damage. You could have just rolled it under their feet, and like maybe you would have been in the blast a little bit, but you would have had a whole lot better chance of getting more stormtroopers, and B probably would have been shielded from more shrapnel because it would have been further away.
Right.
Whatever.
The only reason it would have made sense to do that is if she on her body had like sensitive information or something, right?
Oh, right.
Like she has to destroy the robot and herself or whatever, the droid. Like that would make sense, but no.
It's just a thing. It's not just in Star Wars. It's in a lot of movies where you.
Oh, it's in literally everything.
Just throw it. You'd be fine if you just threw it.
Yeah, I was thinking it's like, I mean, there's just a whole bunch of stuff where it's just like 1 second, nobody can use the Infinity Gauntlet because Thanos is the most powerful, and then it's like here's Tony using it, and it's like it's great. The movie works out well, but at the same time, you're like, shouldn't Tony be like disintegrating?
Yeah, at least he dies from it,
Right, he does die from it, right? But I just mean, it's one of those things.
It's like the gamma radiation was too much for the Hulk, and
and
Tony. I can let that go because I assume it's like the nanobots are taking most of the power off of whatever. Anyway.
No, I'm just agreeing with you that a lot of movies do weird things just to do them for emotional reasons.
Yeah.
So you're gonna feel sad now. Like, okay.
Hey, you remember this? Like you said, hey, you like this new character that has like a really cool story? Dead. They're gone.
You're never gonna see them again.
You like this robot? Too bad. But even like before that, like explosion scene, it's like there's like 40 stormtroopers, and there's like 20 people, and they're all like down this little corridor, and they're just like pew 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 pew, and it's just hitting like walls everywhere. I know like stormtroopers have that thing where like they can't hit anything anyway.
Right.
But I was like, dude, like, give me something. I mean, a couple people do get hit, but it was just, it's just so funny. It's just like that's like top of the line. Like blasters. That's
the best of the best too, right? I mean, the Inquisitor's bringing these stormtroopers, right? It's technically who Vader sent. Like they're from his Star Destroyer, assumedly.
Yeah.
So it's like it's kind of funny. The other thing I was thinking too was when Obi-Wan's in the thing and he's like, and he's blocking it. And I was just like, this doesn't happen. This doesn't happen in Revenge of the Sith. Like the Jedi can't stop 6 clone troopers, but Obi-Wan can take on like a whole military. The whole squadron, essentially.
Yeah, it makes it hard to believe that like there's certain scenes where like one Jedi is just taking on, just deflecting everything, Yeah. And then there's, it's like, so what are the, are they like Padawan in training or something? Like all these other ones that get shot in the back in like the Clone Wars,
Yeah.
I don't know.
But yeah, it was cool. What else did they had something else.
Trying to think what else happened in the episode that I really enjoyed. So
his discussion with the Grand Inquisitor was pretty good. I enjoyed like him trying to draw her back to the light side and trying to like just reason with her with a lot of stuff.
I like how he kind of puts it together too, where he's like Vader would not be telling people that he was Anakin Skywalker.
No.
That would not be a topic of discussion around the water cooler on the Death Star,
Right.
So, like, for her to know, she had to be somebody from the past that knew Anakin was.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the original Grand Inquisitor shows back up, which I thought was cool.
we both saw that coming.
Yeah.
Like he was gonna be. It was almost like him and Vader were using this as like a test to see what she was really made
It
of.
was so much like that, right? Yeah, it was really kind of like the Emperor and
Mm-hmm.
Vader's kind of thing with Luke, where they're kind of like, maybe your friends are gonna die. Maybe you just help them. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
I actually appreciate that we have not seen the Emperor. I
True.
don't think it needs it. You know, I think this needs to just be like Darth
Yeah.
Vader mission is, you know. So I've been enjoying that.
Yeah.
That lightsaber duel at the end with Vader and the Inquisitor, where she finally like uses her double-sided twirl, you
Yeah.
know, the one-handed,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then Vader takes it and he
Oh
splits it in
man,
two, and he's just
man.
and
The
he's just
thing I
toying with
kept
her.
thinking was like what you talked about with Fallen Order. He just makes it look so effortless. Like you're not even pushing him to his limit.
No.
Or he's just like, okay, and he had like the two things and he's coming at her with the two sabers, and then he's like he throws the other one away and he's just like he doesn't need to
Yeah,
do it.
it's just like insult to injury. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
She's
and on
giving
top
it
of it, it
like,
wasn't his, right? It wasn't his lightsaber.
nah, it doesn't matter. The fact that like she comes at him with everything she's got and she's in the air and he's just like and just moves the saber with the force and it's just like you're not gonna you're not gonna get anywhere near me.
No. No. Yeah.
But then to have that scene end where it plays alongside Anakin coming into the temple
Mm-hmm.
and like stabbing her the first time, and now he's doing it
Mm-hmm.
again. You know,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
he's beating her again. Yeah. So the remember that episode where they're in the Grand Inquisitorium
Mm-hmm.
and Obi-Wan sees that like that Padawan with the helmet
Yeah.
and like locked up in the thing. So like, that's one of the same kids in that flashback scene with the other Inquisitor lady.
Mm.
It's like one of her friends that she trained with.
Oh, okay.
So she sees that like as a reminder every day she's in there.
Hmm.
And I thought that was pretty dark because it's the same
Yeah.
actor. Yeah.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it was just funny how like you and I were like, yeah, I didn't recognize anybody in there, and I wish it had more meaning. But like for her, it's like one of her like friends as a child.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's a little rough. Yeah, that's a little
Yeah.
rough.
And then even like so, even when like Vader makes her like kneel, it's very much like she kneeled before Anakin, you know, to try to spare her life in the temple.
Yeah. True. Yeah.
So and then Obi-Wan and Anakin are that duel that they have, that flashback scene is they're training on that same place where the kids are training.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
And you can see the high rise in the background there where like
It's the
Padme would
council,
be.
right?
Hmm.
Or it's Padme. Oh,
So
okay.
Padme would have been there at some point.
Gotcha.
She was in one of the high rise, yeah. But I think it's one of the council buildings.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
It was just cool. The
Yeah, it's true.
honestly,
Now that you say that, they haven't talked about the Emperor or Padme,
mm-mm.
which is fine. Like they don't have to, but it is a big part of Vader's like background and like his life. So
Yeah, I think in the comics Vader went to her tomb and saw her. I kind of was thinking maybe they would do something like that in this. It'd be kind of cool. You know what would be really cool, honestly, I didn't even think about until just now is so this is like a limited run, like Obi-Wan flashback. So what if they did like a Vader show where it's like you're following Vader doing things. And like so like that would be one of them, like going to see Padme's like tomb, and you can see like his inner struggle with trying to, because his whole plan to begin with, remember his whole plan at the end of Revenge of the Sith was he wanted to take over the Empire.
yeah,
He wants to overthrow the Emperor. But like you never really see him do anything like that, you know?
no, right.
So a show like that would be cool.
Would be really cool.
I would like that.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, you could see it could flesh it out pretty decently. I'm fascinated to see what episode 6 does.
I know.
I feel like they have a lot to cover, and I feel like they did a lot already. I feel like
I know.
it's a thing where I've read. We were talking about it. I don't know, a couple days ago. We were talking about how people were like, "Yay!" Like Hayden Christensen is fully back. Like he's playing. He does 2 cameos in actual, you know, from the movies. And they're like, yeah, it's making the movie so much better. And it's like, no, not really. and I thought, like, really, all they're doing is just making this story better. Like, they're making the show better, right? They're using elements from the movies and comics and cartoon series.
Anything is improved by this, and that's like a very small amount because they're already amazing. But like, this improves New Hope.
Yeah.
This improves that first meeting between Luke and Obi-Wan sacrificing himself to Vader.
Yes.
It improves all of that. To me, it doesn't really do anything to the prequels other than show that like Hayden Christensen is a good actor.
Right.
The directing and the script and the writing was terrible for him.
Right.
And like I was telling you the other time, like I don't think we talked about it on here, but I think Hayden Christensen has so much more to like act towards. He has the Clone Wars. He has Rebels. He has all this like Vader stuff and really good Anakin stuff in those shows that like now he can see like, okay, this is the character.
Right.
In the prequel movies, it was just like, okay, so you're the guy that becomes Vader. It's like, okay, so what's his motivation? He wants to save his wife from dying. That's about it. He betrays his best friend, and it's like, okay, so how do you get to that? So now you're trying to build a love interest. You're trying to build the separation from the Jedi Council. You're trying to show how bad and corrupt the Jedi is, and how like he wants to be better, but also like the love interest is here. His friendship with Obi-Wan is here. It's just like so much story to compact into 3 movies.
Yeah.
And like we said, that whole first movie, it's just about Naboo. It's like nothing.
Yeah, it really doesn't do anything.
But yeah, it's just sad because he is really, really good in the show.
Oh,
even that flashback scene where it's just like, man, so much better than any scene.
Oh yeah,
him and Obi-Wan have in the they have a couple good scenes.
I'm so glad you said that. I love that Hayden Christensen, and you could tell there's no way, because I watched him in interviews promoting the show with Ewan McGregor.
Yeah.
When he talks to Obi-Wan on the platform, he purposely chooses to talk like his terrible self in Attack of the Clones, where he's just like, "Oh, I know, Master." So lifeless, so bland. It was so. I loved it. I love that he did that. That he didn't try to like, I don't know, put a new flair on it and be like, "Let me perform this better." He was like, "Nope, I didn't give it much energy and much thought. I just was very sad and solemn performance."
But even I did catch that. But then like even as like the duel goes on further, you can see that he is better. He's he's not over the top about like, "Oh, I got you, Master." He's very much like, he's like, your weapon is gone. Like, submit. Just tell me I won. He's just seeking the approval so much, but it's just such better acting. It's just such better. You believe that these two are friends, and you believe that like they're just. I don't. It's just. Man, it just what could have been. That's all I've been thinking.
I know that's what it comes down to, is what it could have been. But well.
Oh well.
Yeah. It does, but you're right. It definitely adds everything that they're doing in the series. Definitely, to me, it adds to Rogue One and A New Hope. It gives those two movies a lot more ground to play on, and it really, I don't know, they feel really great. I feel like you could just be like, "Oh, we're gonna watch Obi-Wan and then watch Rogue One and then watch A New Hope," and you're like, "Yeah!" Like it just feels, it feels really good.
Yeah, I know. As soon as this ends, I want to watch Rogue One again.
Yeah, me too. Yeah,
I love that. Honestly, that was one of the first Star Wars movies that came out that kind of like brought me back up to here as far as like
Oh
Star Wars.
yeah,
Like,
it definitely escalated the whole. It put Star Wars on a different level. It made Star Wars not feel like it was just about Luke and Vader and Han Solo and all that. It felt like, oh, like it's not that great. It's actually nasty, and like these random people that you have no idea about, like they do things, like they're interesting and they help fight, and
Yeah.
because all you get is like Wade Antilles and the Mothra lady and what's his name? It's a trap. I can't think of his name.
Oh yeah. General Akbar.
Akbar, right? And like you get like those type of characters, and they come through. They go through, but you don't. I mean, they're like dialogue fillers, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. So that's what's make like the Mandalorian so good is because it's about these two characters that you've never seen before. You're interested in their story, but the thing that pulls in the fans or the old fans is that like, okay, so these new characters you really like because they're well written and they're flushed out, but also like, look at they're on Tatooine. Remember Tatooine? This is Tatooine like after the war. This is like the Rebel Alliance is like in control of like the Outer Rim, you know? And then it's like, okay, so you remember this is what like these characters that you remember are doing at this time period. And it's not like their story. It's not the story of the characters that you know. It's this character and how this character, his path goes this way, right? But all these other characters that you remember kind of, you know, they tie in like Loki. Like the branches, you know, they connect because the world of Star Wars is so big, right? But yet it's so small. It's so small because it's just how it is. So there's tons of stuff that go on. That to me, that's why Rogue One was so good because it was these characters are going on a suicide mission. This is how Leia gets the plans to the Death Star. This is how she gets captured in the beginning of New Hope. And you're like, great. This is great.
No.
They told the story. They fulfilled their mission. And it was great. It's just a great standalone movie, and it tied in so much. It's just when we went to the theaters and we saw Rogue One, I had no like I knew what it was about, right?
Right.
But then the ending where it is like shot for shot to the end, to the beginning of the New Hope. Like, oh my God, it's so Vader's fighting his way down that hallway and they're trying to pass the disc through the door, and it ends with him looking at the ship with Leia leaving. And then you can turn on New Hope and it's the cruiser coming. It's cut so perfectly. You're just like you're watching it and your mind is like, oh my God, this is literally like minutes, like seconds before the intro to the New Hope.
To the original movie, I know. Right, and it also like adds a lot more terrifyingness to the Death Star and the Empire, and just like how the rebels are actually fighting on the ground. Yeah, the movie really it just opened up the entire avenue of like what Star Wars could be, right? Because we were so used to all the old stuff where it's just like lightsaber, you know. So which is fine. I don't have that's fine. It's just that's all you're used to. But
they can do lightsaber duels really well. Like So like Revenge of the Sith is a great Obi-Wan and Anakin's duel is so good. And that's why I've liked this series because you see like where they go from being like matched because they train together. So like they have the same style, you know. So they're like matched. And now in this, it's the first time Obi-Wan fights Vader. It's that because that's the flashback scene. Anakin's like, you know, he's got the double hand and he's trying to defend, he's trying to block, and Obi-Wan is just kind of, you know, toying with him because he's the master, right? Then you see Obi-Wan fighting Vader for the first time in episode 4. And Obi-Wan is double-handed and he's just trying to block it, and Vader is just doesn't, you know, it is very much like I love that.
It's flipped now, right? Yeah.
Yep. But now even going into like New Hope, off the top of my head, I don't remember if they're both using, both hands.
Obi-Wan does.
Yeah.
He stands like this.
But it's very much not like a duel of like power.
No.
It's not like so when Luke fights Vader,
Totally different.
It's totally because it's like that scene where Obi-Wan and Anakin in this episode are dueling.
Oh yeah.
Luke has got like Vader down, and he just keeps like going in for the attack, and Vader's just defending, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's ways of doing it that are really good. I don't like the over the top like flipping and twirling, and like it looks great. Don't get me wrong, it looks amazing, right? Because it's a blade of light and it looks cool. But you're in a face-to-face like duel with somebody, and you're not going to be doing this with your sword and flipping it around your back and doing all these flips, because the other guy's just going to do this in your stomach, and you're going to be you're trying to flip it,
I think,
and then you turn your back. They always like spin around and turn their back. And it's like, well, you don't show your back to your duel opponent ever. That's like the worst thing. Anyway, it looks.
But that's the thing that go to like firm up your point is it shows when Obi-Wan and him fight. It's a very like they're straight on. There's no flourish, right? It's just like he's either defending himself or Vader is just like all he's trying to do is just kill him. Well, I guess maim him, because in that episode he was like, no.
Yeah, he wants him to suffer.
So.
No, Obi-Wan, I expect you to die. Yeah.
So that's the thing. So now I went ahead and I didn't look at anything. I just went on Disney Plus and looked, and it said it was like 51 minutes.
I saw one spoiler. I saw a screen. I saw like a screen, like a thumbnail for a YouTube video, and it was like a scene, and I was like,
spoiler.
Why do you do this?
Did they spoil that Obi-Wan lives and Leia makes it back to
I did see
Alderaan?
That. Yeah, I know. I wish they wouldn't have said that already.
They're like, nothing happens to Luke. Leia goes back to Alderaan, and Obi-Wan returns to Tatooine.
All joking aside, like I do honestly wonder where they're going to leave it, because like you said, the events of New Hope are like what, 10, 15 years?
I think another 9 years or something like that. Yeah.
And Darth Vader knows that Luke is his son, like in those movies. So
I think so, right? Yeah.
Is it something that he learned? Like we'll see in the next episode, is something that like he learned, but he kept from the Emperor, because he always planned on maybe hoping that him and his son could rule the galaxy. Is that like something he thought about? I don't know. It's an interesting place to see from this episode. Like, okay, there's one more episode, and then there's 10 years. Like, it's basically has to end with like peace, and Obi-Wan goes and lives on Tatooine. Like, I know that's where it ends.
What if? So the thing I keep thinking about that they're going to do, because it kind of like it sort of sets up for the battle. Because, like you said, who knows? They're not going to get into the whole. I doubt they're going to get into the whole Anakin learns how to become a Force ghost thing. But we're probably going to get Qui-Gon Jinn, probably.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the thing I was thinking was, again, I think I've said it literally in everything we've done. Each one of these things is the whole line about last time I saw you. I am now the master, is what Vader says to Obi-Wan. And I just keep thinking that they're going to use that line and make Obi-Wan pretty much dethrone Vader again, like defeat him like he did at Mustafar. They're going to fight head to head again, and then he's going to lose again.
I would like to see Obi-Wan cut Vader's hand off again.
That's what I
like,
mean. Yeah,
best
like
him in battle, so he has to like repair his hand again.
yeah, like I almost think like literally like he cuts off all of his limbs again,
Don't
or
do it.
parts of his limbs. I
Don't
hate
do
you.
it, Darth
But he'll
Vader.
do it like this. I hate you. I don't know. I just keep thinking that that's where they're going with it, just because it's a really famous line, and it also, when you really pick it apart, it doesn't make a lot of sense in what they've shown so far, because that's never been a thing. There's never been
Yeah.
like a master apprentice thing specifically with Obi-Wan and Anakin. There have with the Jedi Council, but not with Obi-Wan. So,
Right.
but it doesn't matter. If they don't fill it, it's not going to ruin anything. That's what I'm hoping.
I expect Obi-Wan to best Vader in battle and maim him.
Yeah.
And then his words to Vader will be like, "You're still harping on this episode, right, where you see them training," and he says, what's the line he says about his need to win is clouds his judgment or whatever.
Yeah, clouds, yeah. And he's like, you don't always need you don't always need your lightsaber, or you don't always. He said something about right. Like
there's other ways to win a battle.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be something like Jedi, and he's gonna say something like that, and then say like, "You're still just the Padawan who has not become a Jedi Knight.
Still Palpatine's puppet." Yeah.
Even as Palpatine's puppet, you're not a Jedi Knight. I hate you.
Yeah.
I hate you.
Are we also hoping for Obi-Wan clips him and he cuts it, and now you can see Hayden Christensen's face in the helmet?
I do kind of hope that. We have seen that in Rebels. Ahsoka does it. So we have seen it. I think it looks better in animated. It makes more sense. Yeah. It makes more sense animated, honestly, because I mean, there's a very fine line in your helmet where like something could cut it and not cut your face.
Whoa,
Plus, we've seen in like live action Star Wars that anytime his helmet is off, it's very much just a pale, like bloated, wrinkly face. So like, you really wouldn't be able to tell that it's Anakin.
Sure.
You know, they do it in the show, obviously, because
like if he just gets the mouthpiece, like yeah.
Oh,
so that's gonna be the thing, right? This is where it is. Blam, 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 blam. For us, it's gonna be a little bit, but for you, it's mere moments.
Yeah. You can start the next episode. You could watch the next episode first. You could have watched it after this one. Doesn't matter. Yeah. They're both good.
Or you can put two screens up.
Playing both at the same time.
Watch it with us. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah,
boom, boom.
So when we start, we'll say like, all right, and start, and we'll watch it, and you can watch it with us.
Yeah.
Watch it first, I would say, on your own. Get the details out of it.
Yeah.
And then watch it with us. And turn the volume of your TV down. And turn us way up.
To 11.
We're going to record two versions. One is going to be us being like, oh, man, yeah. And the other version is going to be us making fun of stuff. Like Mystery Science Theater.
The one version is we don't talk at all. We just watch it.
Yeah, right. Just.
Oh. Then it'll be you and I looking at each other like this. Wow. This garbage.
Well,
yeah. The best part is going to be you and I are going to watch it, and then it's going to be like the internet's not going to work, and then we're going to have to like live troubleshoot, like get it to work again. Yeah. So, that's how it always goes.
I can see that. So I can see that. Cool. I know. I am excited to see what happens.
Oh, yeah. Here's how excited we're going to be.
Just cuts to us at the next episode like, guys.
Don't watch this one.
You blew it.
You ruined it.
They did it. They did the unthinkable. Star Wars is gone.
It's dead. It's dead again.
It's happening all over. Oh,
I don't think so. I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either. I think if anybody understands like the story and how to like flesh things, like you're saying with that line of dialogue specifically,
right?
I think the right crew is kind of behind making sure
seems
like
it seems like they understand the characters good.
Why would he say this? And the next thing, like, oh well, we didn't watch The New Hope before we made it. Why would we watch that? This is about the clones.
This is all based off of Attack of the Clones. That's all. We based this entire series off of everything. Oh, and one little line in Revenge of the Sith. The rest of it, that's all we did.
But didn't you guys like the Inquisitors though? That was cool.
No, I didn't watch that. We don't know what that is. That was just a note from Dave Filoni. He said, "Put these guys in there." We're like, we don't know what they are.
I don't really actually like the Inquisitors, but we won't talk.
Yeah, they're cool characters. I like. I mean, everybody. I don't know why she was getting hate on the internet. That's stupid. But anyways, I like that they're weird and unique and creepy and
yeah.
I just like them as characters. Like what they mean for the overall scope of Star Wars. It's strange, but I like them as individual characters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because even in the Clone War, the animated series and Rebels, they're just they're just supposed to be like the bad guys for when like Vader's not around, and even Vader kind of hates them too. But that's Vader always like doesn't really care. Honestly, I think Vader looks at them as traitors. Like they're created to be these awful people, but I think even Vader recognizes that like you're basically capturing your own kind and selling out on your beliefs just because you're scared. I think he almost respects like Obi-Wan for like hiding and whatever. They're fine. They're cool characters. They're just they're cartoony and comic booky even in the other shows too. So
I like the actor who plays his name's like something Rupert Prince or something. He plays the Grand Inquisitor. I really enjoy his performance.
Yeah, no, everybody was. No, you're not the Grand Inquisitor. I'm the Grand Inquisitor.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I don't know. I just enjoy how it goes.
Oh, isn't that sad, third sister?
Right. He reminds me a lot of Grand Tarkin, right? Where he's just like he's just very simple and he's very like he says how it is. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I know. Everybody because everybody was given that like. Oh, I don't like the way that looks. The Grand Inquisitor, because he looks different in Clone Wars, but it's like the whole animation of Clone Wars is
they don't look like
unrealistic. It's
the other thing is too is it's like here's what people look like, here's what they don't look like. I mean that's just real. Yeah, I don't have a problem with the show, but like the animation isn't like realistic. They're cartoony.
They're squared. It's like Fortnite characters.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Oh,
it's fine. It's fine, but. I don't care.
But you also that Grand Inquisitor. You have that alien species has been in live action before.
Oh, yeah.
And they look
I saw that online. I forgot that the people from 3, right? When they're like, he's in the hangar. Don't let him know. It's those people.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh
that's
right.
This isn't just like a tattoo or something. That's like their.
Yeah, it's like Darth. It's like Darth Maul. Right?
Yeah. Oh well, that's episode 5.
So this one's gonna be like 2.5 hours of content, right? Because this, I can see up top, it's already like 50 minutes into it.
Yeah, I'll release them as 2 separate things.
You will?
Yeah. I'll do a video just specifically for episode 5, so you can watch episode 5, and then we'll watch episodes. We'll do a separate video for 6.
It's not even a lead-in. Wow.
It'll be a lead-in, but you got to watch this one first.
Yeah, true. Okay.
You're not going to watch 4.
Well, no. If you stuck around this long, write the word
cucumbers.
No, not cucumbers.
Okay.
If you write cucumbers, I'll know that you're not a true subscriber.
I'll know you didn't watch it right to the end. I'll know you've got
Right.
almost to the end, and then
Yes.
you quit.
The word that I want is Lola. I want the word Lola.
Lola.
That's the word.
Okay.
We're gonna find out who stayed till the end.
Cool. All right. Yeah. So Lola, write Lola in the chat.
Oh, you cucumber fans out there, I'll know.
If I see one cucumber, you're gone.
Never.
Banned. Oh man, that's funny. All right, cool. So that's episode 5, and so we'll be back. You can these will be out at the same time, so you can go right over and watch episode 6, our live reaction right now.
Yeah.
And if you came here from there, I don't know why you would do that.
That's fine.
That's not how
Maybe
math.
watch them in reverse. Watch episode 6 all the way to 1, and just
that would be a
look
different
at how
story.
foolish we are, right?
Be a different story. That would be a story about Obi-Wan being really good fighting Vader and then basically hiding into the desert, which is
he likes
kind of what this story is. Just
just the other way. Yeah,
literally the same thing, backwards and forwards.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He fights Vader. He goes and lives in the desert. You watch it backwards. He fights Vader. He goes and lives in the desert.
Yeah. Perfect.
Great. All right. Cool.
It's
all
cyclical.
Right, so
they understand. These guys understand. They got
they
it.
get it. They get story. They get.
They understand. Okay. So what do you got to do? You got to subscribe. You got to comment. You got to ring that bell for notifications. And you write that word. I'm not gonna say what it is again. You missed it. You missed it. Don't like
you already missed it. Too bad.
And like it.
Like it. Oh jeez. All right. We'll catch you guys next time.
All right.